You know, deep out there in the silence of space, our telescopes are picking up, well, they're picking up whispers. These faint, fleeting signals from all across the universe. They just flicker for a moment, and then they're gone. And they leave behind this huge, profound question. So let's dive in and see what they could be.
I mean, think about it. What if, buried deep in all that cosmic static, there's actually a message? A signal that was sent from another intelligence traveling for millions, maybe even billions of years, that's just now hitting our planet. And look, this isn't just science fiction anymore. This is a real question that astronomers are trying to answer every single day.
So let's talk about these sounds from outer space. What exactly are they, and why are they causing such a huge stir in the scientific community?
And this isn't some new thing. For more than half a century now, our radio telescopes, which are basically giant electronic ears pointed at the stars, have been intercepting these really bizarre radio transmissions. Some of them repeat, some show up only once, but a whole lot of them are really, really hard to explain.
But how in the world do scientists even listen for a potential message in what's essentially a cosmic ocean of noise? Well, the process is incredibly precise. They aren't just looking for any random signal. They're searching for something very, very specific. What they're on the hunt for is something called a techno-signature. Now, this is what's so cool about it. It's not just a radio signal. A techno-signature could be pretty much anything that points to technology. We're talking laser emissions, weird heat signatures, or patterns that just can't be made by nature as we understand it. The whole search follows a pretty clear playbook. First, these massive telescopes collect just terabytes of data. Then, super powerful computers, a lot of them using machine learning now, sift through billions of radio channels, just looking for anything unusual. And if they find what they call a signal of interest, that's when the real work starts. This painstaking process of ruling out every single known natural or man-made cause. And this process, well, it's led us to some of the most profound mysteries in the entire universe. Signals that have passed all the initial tests and are still just stubbornly unexplained.
And this printout right here, this captures the most famous one of all. So on August 15th, 1977, an astronomer named Jerry Ekman was just looking over data when he saw a signal so strong, so out of place, that he just circled it and wrote one word in the margin: wow.
So let's open up the case file on this thing. The signal lasted for exactly 73 seconds. It was narrowband, which means it was on a very specific frequency, exactly like an artificial radio broadcast would be. And here's the kicker. It has never, ever been detected again. After almost 50 years, it is still a complete mystery.
But the wow signal isn't the only puzzle out there. Not even close. You've got fast radio bursts, or FRBs, these incredibly powerful signals from other galaxies that blast out more energy in a millisecond than our sun does in 3 days. Then there's a mysterious object that's been sending a radio signal every 22 minutes, like perfect clockwork for over 30 years. And get this, there's another one that pulses every 54 minutes, a speed that should be impossible for the kind of dead star we think it is. We've even found strange high-energy particles shooting up out of the ice in Antarctica with no clear source. I mean, the universe is just filled with these riddles. So this leads us to the most crucial point. How do we actually separate a potential message from the stars from just simple noise being generated right here on Earth? Honestly, this is the single biggest challenge for scientists in this field.
Well, scientists have a checklist. A real cosmic signal, it should come from a fixed point in the sky. It's got to be narrowband, and as our planet rotates, its frequency should seem to drift in a very predictable way. Earthly interference, or RFI, usually fails these tests. It's messy, it's erratic, and it can come from anywhere. But sometimes, the interference can be really, really convincing. Take this signal called BLC1. For a moment, it looked like the most promising techno-signature ever found. But as this quote explains, after a ton of investigation, they found out it was just a really complex form of local interference. The timeline for this one shows you just how tricky this gets. So in 2019, a signal pops up from our closest star neighbor, Proxima Centauri. It looked absolutely perfect. But after months of work, the team found that the signal was actually part of a whole family of interfering signals that just happened to line up perfectly with their observation. It was basically a cosmic false alarm.
And the sources of this interference can be truly bizarre. I mean, in 2024, astronomers were completely baffled by this powerful signal that turned out to be from a 60-year-old piece of space junk,
a dead NASA satellite from 1964 that just suddenly let out a burst of static electricity. The sky is getting noisier and noisier every single year.
So, this of course brings us to the ultimate question. After you filter out all the noise and all the natural stuff, could any of these unexplained signals actually be from aliens?
Okay, so as of right now, the scientific consensus is crystal clear. There is no credible proof of alien communication. For every single mystery, there are plausible, even if they're unconfirmed, natural explanations. From hypermagnetized dead stars called magnetars to exotic physics we just don't understand yet. The alien hypothesis? That is always the absolute last resort.
But that doesn't mean the search is over. Not at all. In fact, thanks to all this new technology and new ways of looking, it's probably entering its most exciting phase yet.
We've got new, way more powerful telescopes coming online. We're using AI to scan for weird anomalies in ways humans never could. And through citizen science projects, literally anyone with a computer can now join the hunt and help astronomers sift through all this data from space.
And as this recent quote about the wow signal shows, even the oldest mysteries are being looked at again with fresh eyes and new data. We might not have solved it yet, but with every year that passes, the picture gets a little clearer and the map of where to look next gets a little sharper.
We keep searching because the stakes are just so incredibly high. Every unexplained blip is a potential breadcrumb that could lead to a revolutionary discovery, whether it's new physics or the answer to that ancient question. So we keep listening and we keep wondering, what if the next great discovery isn't just a faint whisper, but a clear, unmistakable voice?